Hey, sisters, going live tonight because I just wanted to reiterate some things from my post that I had from this morning. So hopefully we can get a few people to jump on. If you are on, say hello. If you're watching the replay, say replay. So I basically wanted to talk about the power of three. So as I stated in my post this morning, people usually tend to, hey Lakeisha, people tend to process information or organize information in three. As far as your pricing tiers or your service plans are concerned, I always recommend people have three tiers because people tend to think in terms of good, better, and best. Okay, so there are different types of shoppers out there. You have the bargain shoppers, you have the Goldilocks shoppers, not too expensive, not too cheap, and then you have the people who always want something high end. So that's why I always recommend folks, they do an entry-level pricing package or service plan, a middle point, and a high-end point. The high-end point, there are people who, no matter what the product is, they just want the most expensive thing, right? So you can buy a Hyundai, but there are people who will prefer to get a Lexus just because it's a Lexus. So there are different types of shoppers. Again, that's the high-end shopper. So then you have the Goldilocks shopper, the not too cheap, not too expensive type shopper. So for the middle tier service plan on your webpage, I always recommend that you put most popular plan, even if it's not your most popular plan. Why? Because people tend to follow other people. That's just human psychology, right? So people tend to follow the leader. So if it's the most popular plan, they're like, hey, if this is the most popular plan, I should try it. Then, of course, you have your bargain shoppers. So those are the people who are probably going to start with your entry-level plan no matter what, okay? So, again, the reason why you need three tiers is because you want to pave a pathway of progression for your clients. You want to be able, hey, Tanya, Miss Franklin is in the house. You want to be able to pave a path of progression for your clients, right? If someone starts off with your entry-level plan, you have two opportunities to upsell, okay? You can jump them from the middle, and then you can jump them to the high-end package, all right? It is so much easier to upsell a current client than to get a new client. There are stats out there that say 80% of what you make are going to come from, or 80% of new revenue is going to come from your current clients. So that's just food for thought. That's something. Hey, Diane, from the lovely island of Jamaica. So yeah, that's why there's nothing wrong with cold calling and prospecting, but that's something I don't really advocate for. I really advocate for people nurturing their current client base and always upselling. All right. So there's one more thing that I want to talk about as far as pricing is concerned. I know a lot of people post in different groups. They'll say, hey, I have this project this client wants me to do. How much should I charge? Should I charge by the hour? Should I charge it as a project? How much do you think I should charge? And my response to that is everybody's pricing structure is unique to their business. And let me explain that a little bit more. So if I ask, Tanya, how much do you charge per month for web maintenance, right? She may say, okay, I charge $500 a month. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll do $495 a month. I don't know how Tanya came up with that $500. I don't know if she included all of her business expenses in that $500. I don't know what her profit margin is. It could be a 10% profit margin or 20% profit margin. So you always want to, here's my formula. I always encourage people to, when you come, whatever your price is, whether it's hourly, whether it's by the project, whether it's a monthly retainer, here's the formula that I tell people to use, or I encourage people, because you can do whatever you want to do. But this is what I encourage people to do. In your price, include your salary, meaning what you decide to pay yourself, your business expenses, what does it cost to run your business, and then your profit margin. How much profit do you want to make? So the formula is, the formula for your price is your salary, your business expenses, and how much you want to make, your profit margin. All right. So if you guys have any questions about this, go ahead and post it in the group, comment on this video. I'm planning on doing a lot more lives because I've noticed a lot of people are PMing me or emailing me and asking me very specific questions. And I feel like if one person has this question, maybe 10 other people might have the same question. So I'm going to try to address it to the entire group instead of on a one-by-one individual basis. That way you all can get the same information. Yes, Lakeisha, you also need to consider, also need to know your market too, right? So I know Lakeisha works with financial advisors. Usually those people make pretty decent money. So her pricing structure might be higher than someone who works with like solo business coaches, for example. All right, so yeah, that's a good point, Lakeisha. You also need to know your market. All right, so I am going to be ending this live video. Again, if you have any questions about what I said, if you disagree with what I said, please, 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 please comment. I don't mind a debate. Let's talk about this because we're all in this together. We all need to learn and grow from each other. So yes, I am going to end this live. Oh, thank you for the hearts. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.